there are matches and cigarette lighters and coolers and anything that you can possibly.
I think you're going to be banned from every gas station.
Probably. They're going to be like, do not let her in at the Speedway down the street. She is no longer welcome.
Hello and welcome to Library Grindhouse. The only ticket you need is your library card. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Leah. Today we'll be giving you our top 5 reasons why to watch the 2008 film, Splinter.
All right, Leah, but first why don't you hit them with that spoiler-free plot summary.
Polly and Seth just wanted a nice, romantic anniversary weekend under the stars. What they did not want was a carjacking gone awry when a parasitic organism starts to host on people's bodies and attack them in a small-town gas station.
All right, Leah, what's your number 5 reason to watch this film?
When I saw him, I about jumped out of my seat. Eli from Boardwalk Empire. His name is actually Shay Wigham. He is the con artist. I love Boardwalk Empire. Eli was always one of my favorite characters. I thought he was underrated, and he's a phenomenal actor. So when I saw him...
Come here. Listen to me. You gotta trust me, okay? You trust me.
I was like, oh, this is another one of the movies, and he's going to have a bigger part in it. And I thought that he was great in it. He kills it. He kills it at sort of like being you think he's kind of a scumbag, but maybe he's not. Maybe there's reasons behind it. I don't know. He's just an interesting character.
All right.
But I was excited. What's your number 5 reason, Jesse?
The acting. I was happy at the caliber performances we got, like pretty much across the board. Like,
I agree.
I mean, in a movie this tight with such a small cast and you're with them the whole time, like with nothing to distract you or cut away from, it's the fact that they just really just nail I believe everything that's going on. I believe their characters, and nothing they did took me out of the movie, which is saying something.
I completely agree. Nothing was super over the top, which I feel like it could have been over the top with what was happening.
Over the top, so I think.
But the acting wasn't.
Right.
Yeah, like they did a very good job at being like, yeah, that might be how I would react in this situation, or yeah.
Yeah. All right, Leah, what's your number 4?
All right, for number 4, I have, in order to calm someone down. Okay, this is said to calm someone down. It's okay. We're cutting off your arm.
It's okay. We're cutting your arm off.
That was a little wild. It's a crazy line and a crazy time to say it. But it works.
Yeah, it works somehow. It's so crazy. But yes. So what is your number 4 reason?
Smart characters. I didn't need it, but I appreciated the main characters having brain cells.
Absolutely.
For the most part. They did a whole lot too much of like, I'm going to get real close to this thing.
It's moving. It's actually moving itself.
And just that kind of drove me crazy. But overall, there's a level of intelligence I would not expect in a movie like this.
Absolutely. And I love the fact, too, that they had, instead of it being a typical stereotypical horror film where, you have the damsels in distress and you have the men being like super manly men and all of this stuff, it was sort of, they had like a flip gender role at sometimes, and sometimes not. Like the girl was the only one who knew how to drive a stick. She was the one who knew how to change a tire, knew where that stuff was. And then the boyfriend was scientific, which that's not unstereotypical of a horror film, but he was more like brains of the operation.
He was scientific, but like he knew a lot about trees, but it didn't feel like he'd seen trees.
Well, he was a botanist. He was a doctor of botany.
Right, but he didn't. It was like, oh my gosh, like I've never seen this tree before. And I'm like, dude, you're getting your PhD.
It's true. That is true.
It's like he's basically been in the library his whole life and not gone into the field to actually like do the work.
But I love the fact too that you could tell that he wasn't, because he was like studying everything. Like he had that. That kind of ties into the acting. He had that mentality where it's like he is a learner. He's like a seeker of knowledge.
He is.
An observer.
But at the same time, it just hit me like he really didn't want to go camping. And I'm like, dude, you study plants.
It's true.
Why would you not want to be out amongst said plants?
That is true.
I guess he probably just hates the bugs. I get that. But at the same time, it's like, you're going to have to deal with the bugs if you're going to be with the plants.
That's true. That is true. I don't know.
Anyway, I thought that was interesting.
But, you know, that was actually my number 3, was the scientific way that boyfriend Seth, and I have Dr. Botanist, almost a doctor.
Almost a doctor.
Looks at everything, and then, like, his girlfriend Polly being known as the firecracker. Firecracker. Which I just thought was funny. Firecracker.
I'm nothing like your white trash drugged out girlfriend.
Firecracker.
Yeah, I'm like, that's gross, dude. I don't know.
But I think he meant it in terms of she doesn't, like, he
appreciates, like, her
gumption.
Yeah.
Her way of just like, no, this is how it is. Like, I'm doing this. I've got a baseball bat. Come at me. I'm going to run out there. And even though, you know, they talk through everything, like, she is ready to go. She is not cowering to this thing. She's full on, like, a part of the team,
sure.
Which I did appreciate. Because usually in some horror films, there's, like, a girl who's just screaming in the back and they're like, no, you sit here. We'll take care of it.
And, like, pretty much almost everyone gets their moment.
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
Cool, which
absolutely.
I like, yeah.
All right, so what is your number 3?
My number 3 is the practical effects. So gnarly. The quick cuts distract from them a little bit, but I love what I'm able to see, and they made good use of, like, they got a gymnast, they got a mime,
Yeah.
they got some of those folks to be able to get, like, this crazy movement right, which is money well spent. It was really disconcerting.
Let's get back!
I wish we could have seen more, like, in the security camera footage. That would have been a fun thing of, like, you know, because it has frame drops and the footage is grainy. Because I guess technically they tried to only use it when it was motivated and not, like, we're the godlike overseers.
Exactly.
And I think that was the reason why they didn't use it more.
I think they wanted it to be like, you don't know where this thing is at. You don't know what's going on with this thing. Why is it where it is? And
yeah, they were more concerned with the tension versus you seeing this thing.
Absolutely.
All right, Leah, what's your number 2?
My number 2 reason was Cousin It Hand.
What is that? Get away from that.
It's not actually Cousin It's the thing. I accidentally put Cousin It. Cousin It's the hair person. Right? Thing hand.
Yeah.
Yes. That, I really can't even explain more. It's just thing hand. I love the fact that there is a roaming around hand-like thing combined with other hand and arm appendages thing.
It's very Bride of Reanimator.
Yeah, that moves around in funky ways and attacks them, and it's has a mind of its own, and I loved it.
It's gnarly. I was here for it.
Thing was also my favorite character in the Addams Family, so you know, it had that little like, woohoo, giddy moment for me.
That's awesome. You gotta love a severed hand running around.
You gotta love it. You have to.
Yeah, it's so good.
All right, Jesse, your number 2 reason.
The pacing and the tension. This movie does not waste your time and ratchets things up quickly with enough details to make you care about the characters and the crazy situation that they're in. And I love the economy of the single location too.
I was about ready to say that too. Yep.
I mean, I just think that was just a master stroke of like, we have so little money.
Yeah.
So we are going to build this tiny little gas station that we are then going to do crazy stuff with, and we can do whatever we need to. And yeah.
You know, it was kind of reminiscent of, is it The Fog, where they're stuck in a grocery store, or is it The Mist?
The Mist.
It's kind of reminiscent of that, just in terms of obviously the location, but I did not realize how many things are actually in a gas station that you could use in like situations like this. You know what I mean?
I mean, as you would.
Yes, but like
you
don't realize it, but it's like, oh yeah, there is lighter fluid at gas stations. Oh yeah, they do have like random little hatchets or
he had that with
hammers but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, yeah, there are matches and cigarette lighters and coolers and anything that you can possibly
I think you're going to be banned from every gas station.
Probably. They're going to be like, do not let her in at the Speedway down the street. She is no longer welcome.
Well, Leah, what's your number 1 reason to watch this movie?
Because I said so. I was very happy with this movie. I came off thinking it was going to be something completely different.
Yeah, okay.
I thought it was going to be completely different. And I was very pleased with it. Yet again, like Justin and I have talked about, just the one setting, it makes it for everything else that's happening to seem so much more impactful. Yeah. You're not like jumping around, there's people flying everywhere. It really consisted around 4 to 3 characters. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it was just everybody had their role, and it was just good. It was good. It still left you with an ending that was like, perfect.
And so gross in Grindhouse.
It is, and yes, disclaimer, not for the faint of heart. You see Laffy Taffy pulling skin.
Oh,
you
yeah.
see, like, head banging. There is blood galore. So, forewarned, but if you find that stuff hysterical like I do, this is the movie for you.
Awesome. Well, I have reasons because I said so. This movie's smart, tense, gnarly, and short. It's the liquor donuts of movies because what else do you need? I mean,
true.
it has it all. I mean, this movie, gosh, it's so gross. It's just beautifully grindhousey in that regard. But at the same time, it's like the acting is just superb.
Yes.
The plotting is better than it needs to be and the characterizations are way better than they need to be.
Yeah.
We don't really even get like types. Everyone is kind of a hero.
Yeah.
At the end of this day.
Yeah,
this
they
thing.
didn't leave it to be like one person overcomes all and
everyone else gets picked off and there's just the one, final girl or like the Bruce Campbell hero at the end of Evil Dead kind of thing where it's just the one person's left. They didn't do that, which is cool.
It was very well done. I was pleasantly surprised.
I'd seen it before because I read reviews and I was like, oh, this sounds great, and it was.
Yeah, no, I was happy. I tried to go in it without knowing anything about the movie, so like
I couldn't help it. Sorry,
I have to.
I figured we had to cover it because we want more people to watch it. I want you to watch it. I want you all to watch it.
That is true.
Watch it. So I'll call it a draw.
Yeah, I'll call that one a draw.
Do it because we both say
both
you
told
should
you to
watch it because it's. I don't think you'll be disappointed.
No.
If you feel like anything remotely like this, you'll dig it.
If you like gore, grindhousey effects, kind of, I guess.
Oh yeah, practical. If you like practical effects, you will adore this movie because as far as I know, most of these, if not all of these effects were practical, which is great.
Absolutely.
Well, those are reasons to check out Splinter, so head on over to Hoopla to check it out for yourself. For Live at Grindhouse, I'm Jesse.
And I'm Leah.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye.